Good morning and welcome to the 445 Productive Through Joy Show with your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. The show airs each weekday morning, hella early AF at 4:45 a.m. here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel and 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. Guys, today we're talking about trance. Super important topic. How understanding using various types of trance modalities can really help you enhance your productivity. You can go to productivethroughjoy.com to see about it. That was like a little freestyle. I got the dot com to see about us. We speak to groups, schools, and organizations about being productive through joy. Let's dive in. So, guys, we're talking about trance today. There's some misunderstanding about trance. So I'm going to speak about it in terms of some pop culture references because that'll, I think, kind of set the stage for it better for our purposes. All right. So point one is that it's important to learn something about trance. Do your own due diligence, your own research, and many of us have been exposed to what I would call trance is an umbrella term for many types of ways of tapping into the inner self. All right, so many of us have been exposed to trance in pop culture. Many of us have seen on TV when a hypnotist, which is a kind of trance induction based upon a thing called the power of suggestion, but it makes individuals go into a kind of trance. We've all seen this online, or in the old school, you would see people. These guys would be on TV, and they would get people from the audience, and the guy would say, and the hypnotist would say something like, "All right, I'm going to count to three. I'm going to snap my fingers 4 times, and you're going to become a chicken." People are like, "A chicken? Oh, okay. I'm going to be a bee clucking. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bam! He snaps, and these people are walking around the stage, quack, whatever. What does the chicken sound like? Quack, quack. Like I said, duck, chicken, skirt, skirt, making chicken sounds, right? And then they snap some out of it, and they're like, "See, I didn't do nothing. I wasn't no chicken." And people in the audience laugh because the people who were the chickens were completely unaware that they were becoming a chicken. All right, so they had become a chicken. So we've been exposed to it in that way. We've also, for those of us who play sports, especially competitive sports in front of an audience, which is how this trance works best. You go into a thing, at times you go into a thing called the zone. I know it primarily through basketball, but I've heard it's also very popular in football as well, where there's high intensity, high emotion. You can go into the trance. So in basketball, it happens when you're in the trance. It'll last for about maybe 45 seconds or a minute, if you're lucky, like 2 or 3 minutes in the course of a game, where everyone around you slows down, so that you can act literally in your mind, like you can anticipate where they're going to go because they're moving so slow right in front of you. Then you're also, that's one thing. So you're able to anticipate, like steal the ball because they're tossing the ball right in front of you. You're able to steal the ball, or also another part of the trance is that the basket becomes as big as like a bathtub, and you're standing right in front of the bathtub. So shooting the ball is as easy as shooting a ball right into a bathtub from standing 1 foot from the bathtub, right? I mean, it is just like that. It's an extraordinary feeling. I wish it lasts all game. And so in those times of the game, you can shoot the ball in almost automatically. I mean, the ball's going to go in. It's amazing when it happens. So there's that kind of trance. So we know there's something there to this trance because we've been exposed to it in our real lives in different ways. So, but what I'm saying to you is do more research and learn more about the. I thought about speed reading, which is also a kind of trance. When you kind of, for those who've had those types of speed reading classes, you are reading across you're scanning the page with your finger, and the word in kind of a rhythmic way, and the words are, and the meaning of the words are coming to you because you're in a slight trance, and you're able to actually remember more of what you read than if you read word for word. I thought that seems impossible, but it doesn't work for fiction, but for nonfiction, like for academic studies especially, it's pretty extraordinary. All right. So anyway, those are examples that you may have heard about if you're in school or you play sports or other ways. So, but you want to do your own research on it. So part 2 is that for some reason, we're not even sure. I don't know why this happens, but when you are in a trance, your spirit is more open to suggestion. I'm not sure why that works. Oh, another example came to mind was you may have seen people online on Instagram. There's a guy, and these guys, I don't feel so good about these guys. I'm not going to use that example. It's kind of like a weird example, but you may have seen people online engage, like street trance people, engage people in certain types of trance inducement. So this is very powerful stuff, guys. But you want to be careful because it can also be used in a way that's exploitive or dangerous. So if that's you, don't be that person. But so, which is point two, how do you use the trance? How does it work practically? So if you would like to, for example, meet a goal or objective to get into a certain school, if you're a high school student, to graduate from a certain college, to make a certain amount of money, to win some award, as you visualize that, see that in your mind, in a state of a slight trance, right? You can do it by drumming. You can do it by chant. You may have seen people who chant non-ringe quo. That's how that chant goes. All that stuff is all about trance inducement because your spirit is more able to embrace the idea behind the goal, the idea behind what you are seeking to acquire in this trance state. And I'm telling you, it's taken me a while to work this up, but this trance inducement thing, visualizing it, believing it, and engaging in it in a sense of a slight trance, at times it's called the mediumistic trance. I don't know how this even works. I'm just telling you what I have experienced many times. That thing has a greater opportunity, a greater possibility of manifesting in the world of phenomena in the real world. So, which goes to point through three. So if you know that, which is my challenge, because I know that's true, the challenge is to live it all the time, daily. So I made some changes in my own spiritual practice recently to get more trance into my life, because I know it works, but you have to, it's a balancing act, so I won't get into all the details of that thing that I'm doing, but reach out to me once you start trying this stuff, do some research, read it, check it out, and let's talk about it, because it can be this can completely change your life. I'm talking about in a radical way. I'm reflecting back now on how this idea, this going into trance and visualizing, and man, I just got to chill. My whole body's chilling right now, because not just because I'm chilling, but because I'm reflecting on the things that have happened, I've experienced as a result of this work. So anyway, boom, goes the dynamite. Thanks for being here, guys. We love and respect you here. We'll see you this afternoon at 4:45 p.m. Until then, let's talk about it and be about it. Deuces, I'm out.